the Bible says the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They're not like guns and swords, but they're mighty through God to pull down strongholds. And reconciling love is a weapon. And I can tell you that many of my own family members think different. My own children, we have very different points of view on many subjects, but we love each other and we all come together all the time because the love trumps the differences of opinion, the different political points of view, the different, all of those things that are going on in the world. And
Yes.
reconciling love is the highest weapon. The greatest of these is love. So, Diane, what would you say?
Well, I want to, because I love stories and I think that they kind of impart, what we're talking about here. You know, I'm not the most amazing cook. If my children are on, no comments, but
Amen. Amen. Amen.
you have a Wesley King cook too, though. You've got someone in the house, but we still do family dinners. We still try to do Sunday dinners. We've still made it a point because I understand how much that connection is. And I was laughing when we left, before this trip, we're at a restaurant and I said, well, it wasn't a pot roast, but it was amazing because we sat down and just connected. In fact, we started telling stories. The whole table started telling stories of God's power and goodness, testimonies. We were just like, hey, this happened then, and hey, this happened then. And we have one of our sons is a literal seer. And he said, do you see what's happening? You're inviting all the angels here. And I was like, okay, let's do it,
Wow.
And like your family, we don't agree in many different areas of life if we were to lay them all out, but we can agree on God's goodness. We can agree on, what he's doing in people's lives, and we can celebrate that with each other. And we have a little bit of I don't even know what it's called, a group message thing that we do. And if someone needs prayer, we've learned how to be authentic with each other and say, it's a bad day. It's just not a great day. And no one shoots back and says, just get over it. They're like, hey, what's going on? How can I pray? I'm going to lift you up. So we've learned how to take those differences that you talk about, that could be the center of our conversations. Some of them are big enough, and kind of go, okay, we're going to do this differently. We're going to play, like Neil said, on the love level.
So let's personalize that. So I know families, and we all know families, and sometimes even in our own family, we have times where there's like a deep division. And
Yes.
it's not easy to come together. And
Yes.
how would you overcome some of that? What would you say that a meal is a great place to start? Just have them over for a meal. What would you do? Give.
Yeah. So Neil, are you still on there? Can I tell another story? Did he have to leave?
No, he's
No,
there.
yes, please.
Okay. So before one of our friends got married, they asked if, or we asked them if we could sit down and do a blessing with the families over that marriage. And so we had both sides of the family in the room, and one family, was still together and one family was separated. So we had extra family members, and in obedience to God, we blessed the family, right? And
You bless, hold on, I just want to take it. So you have two families. One is broken, meaning they're separated, or
yeah, we've got one with divorced parents, one has parents together, and we've got all of those in a room. And we are, those two parents, we're helping them bless this new covenant of their children.
Wow.
Well, it was beautiful and it was very meaningful. But I think sometimes as a human, we don't think of what happened in the spirit realm because of that. So years later, one of the mothers visits, and God just whispers to Neil that prayer. What is it exactly he said to you? That prayer.
Heaven is a legal standing in the spirit realm, and that there was something that was going to happen.
Right. So one of her children, who would be an extreme of the prodigal, I mean, an extreme of the prodigal, came home over to see her, stayed overnight, woke up the next day, asked her to go to church, which at this point, the family, I don't even know, was really going to church. And she's like, okay, I'll take you to church. Got saved at church and started calling their family members for Bibles. I think, in answer to your question, Stacey, we don't nearly understand the promises sometimes that God has put before us to claim what he's already given us.
And the blessing.
And the power of blessing.
Single prayer that it never ends. Those prayers are heard. And it's just a matter of time. And eventually that seed will bear fruit. That's so powerful.